We may think reading happens automatically, but it isn't magic. If you live in Alabama, you may have heard a lot about the importance of reading by 3rd grade. But what does it actually mean for your child to be on track? Teaching students to read is actually a pretty complicated process, but there are decades of science to back up ways to get every student reading, as long as teachers and families have the right tools and training. 3rd grade is important because it's when most schools start shifting instruction from learning to read to reading to learn. Reading proficiently is more and more important after 3rd grade, and kids that are behind or at higher risk of not finishing high school. Most kids really do need evidence-based, systematic instruction in order to learn how to read well. So what does that look like? And what does a 3rd grader actually need to know how to do? Number 1, every student should have a foundation in phonics. Throughout the first few grades of elementary school, teachers should use explicit phonics instruction to help children identify letters, decode words, and read sentences. Parents and teachers should be on the lookout for students who only know memorized words or rely on pictures to guess a word's meaning. Here's an example. When trying to read the word horse, if a child doesn't know how to spell out the letters and sounds of horse, they might look at a picture with the word and think through other times they've seen something that looks similar to the picture and say, pony. It's a relatively harmless mistake, sure, but eventually a student will be in a situation where guessing doesn't work. And that's where a teacher's reliance on reading clues, also sometimes called cueing rather than phonics, can be harmful. If your student is in 3rd grade, here's a question to ask. Can my child read long blocks of text without pictures or other clues? While almost all programs use some phonics, it's good if a parent asks questions and makes sure phonics are distributed throughout the curriculum, especially for younger readers. Number 2, every student should build their background knowledge. It sounds obvious, but reading will help your child read more and enjoy it, even if they're working through books that are technically outside their level. When trying to sound out a word, students will be more successful if they have already heard the word before in context. This is where social studies or math texts in class are also important. They help build knowledge and reading muscles. Here's a question to ask. What is my school doing to build students' background knowledge in science, math, and the arts? How much instructional time is spent? Other things your child does at home and at school can also help them build vocabulary, even if they're not reading a book, like watching videos, listening to music, or talking with a family member. Number 3, every student should know how to get new information from text. By the time a student is in 3rd grade, they should be able to read in order to acquire new information about a subject without much guidance. They should also be able to ask good questions and find out more information about what they have read. If they can't, parents and teachers should work together to determine what the issue is. Here's a question to ask. Is my child struggling due to a learning challenge or a curriculum issue? What are the specific gaps in their knowledge? In Alabama, teachers are supposed to assess students beginning in kindergarten for any learning or developmental delays. A teacher should work with the parent to make a game plan for success, whether for increasing vocabulary, comprehension, or reading speed. To learn more, read the Alabama Education Lab's ongoing coverage of literacy and solutions at AL.com/educationlab.